Hey, I'm Stefan. My online comic, Omelette of Demons, has reached 20 chapters, and I wanted to do a little video thing as a precursor to another I have planned down the track. I want to try and make this as short as possible since I know my own video attention span is that of a dry turnip, so here's my personal top 5 favourite moments from the first 12 chapters of my comic, Omelette of Demons. Spoilers alert, if you care. So, first off, quick synopsis for those unfamiliar with the series and stuff. So, Omelette of Demons follows young half-demon Omelette, whom, with her older sister Onigiri, hunts demons and the likes for a living in hopes of freeing their parents. Despite her unusual circumstances, Omelette dreams of a normal life, making friends and having fun and such. But yeah, we don't do that. Otherwise we wouldn't have a story. She gets social anxiety, self-doubt, and the occasional carnage-seeking hellspawn instead, because that's fun. The first 12 chapters are pretty much an intro to its lore, the main themes, and its cast. So, let's jump into my top 5. So, number 5 is the Demon Council BRAWL from Chapter 9. In a chapter dense with comic lore, family drama, character insecurities, comes one of my favourite dumb fun skits so far. When the Demon Queen describes the dangers of the upcoming danger of the Royal Sisters, her audience is less interested in her warnings and more focused on the inherent need to bash each other senseless. What makes the scene for me is how the hot-headed kibbles feign sophisticated conversational partaking before succumbing to the need to bash that stupid candlestick spectre's jerk's face in. Waffle's encouragement of the spectacle, Omelette and Onigiri's deadpan observing, and the Queen's own just let him be mentality makes this the ideal introduction to this dysfunctional demon council. Number 4. Jessica and Tia apologise from Chapter 5. This scene serves as the aftermath of the hate spider story in which the bullied Tia becomes prey to a demonic spider who feeds off the hate she had for her bully, Jessica. After Omelette comes around to punch the baddie and look super cool along the way, both Jessica and Tia are left with physical and emotional scars from the incident. Their apology for me just felt like this genuine, awkward yet warm moment. It starts off slow, almost unrelated as if they're trying to find the perfect words last minute. And then it's just these two kids just trying to look past the bizarre, surreal things that are happening to them and deal with it as normally as possible. So Tia finding strength in herself to finally speak her mind, and Jessica proclaiming her desire to change and be better make it stand out for me. The little awkward hug and at the end helps to encapsulate the idea of them trying to make amends, even if it is a little rocky. Number 3. Omelette vs. Kay from Chapter 6. This isn't even an epic fight or anything. This scene is more of a comedy act as Kay, the enthusiastic junior demon hunter, who's watched way too much anime, tries to take on the deadpan Omelette, who just wants to work up the courage to book a music room to practice karaoke to her lonesome self. This fight is short, but dynamic and quirky in its execution, well at least I think anyhow, with a couple of cartoony skits and a fun silly atmosphere. The thing I like about this fight is how unmatched it is and how Omelette approaches that aspect. Omelette is clearly the superior fighter, but does not want to hurt Kay at all, and instead jumps around him and does everything in her power to avoid combat. All the while having a completely dull expression. Her not wanting to fight as well as her inability to hold a proper conversation lead to her literally running away from the encounter. And I just thought that was really funny. Number 2. Omelette, Kay, and GEMMA versus 9 and 10 from Chapter 7. Just in set piece alone, this fight stands out as a personal favourite of mine. Challenged by two mysterious and stylishly dressed demon sisters, Omelette matches with the fiery yo-yo slinging 10, while Kay and GEMMA get absolutely annihilated by the magical spray can toting diva known as 9. For me, the fight is just fun. Like, I hadn't done any multiple stage fights before, and this had more characters than I'd ever dealt with in a single scene. 10 barraging Omelette with yo-yos was interesting in making sure to keep all the big sweeping motions within a single frame. while also trying to make 10 look super cool and sassy in every instance. Whereas 9's graffiti abilities had to have more thought into each action, to make sure that she was always 20 steps ahead of her teenage opponents, while also having to look super cool and sassy in each instance, because of course that's always essential. It's a fight where I tried to have each character's dialogue really reflect how they would personally address this sort of situation. Where Kay's not really taking the whole fight seriously, he's more engrossed in just, oh, I'm in a fight, that's kinda cool. Gemma being cautious is reflective of things in her character that I've yet to really say in the comic. And then Omelette just doesn't want to fight, and all of her dialogue is just, hey, let's not fight maybe, that's a good idea. It was also the first thing to feature characters designed by very talented artist friends of mine, Danny Phoenix and Paradism, who designed 10 and 9, respectively. So, it was fun to bring those characters alive on the pages. Afternote, apparently it's not Paradism, it's Paradecum. Yep. I'm keeping the rest in. And number 1. That's what sister means to me, from chapter 12. I don't think my description of this scene could ever express what it means to me outside of the comic and what it means to the characters of Omelette and Onigiri. Omelette's emotional suppression for the last 12 chapters and beyond comes to its climax as she tearfully and truthfully confides to her sister that she's just not coping. With the context of an inferred suicide attempt, this is meant to be a heavy scene. Of this kid who dreamt of everything, but just couldn't achieve any of it, no matter how hard she tried. All the little things piling up until the last thing just tipped it over. But of course, the part that really makes this scene for me, and will probably stay as my favourite for a long time, is how Onigiri responds to Omelette's emotional, outbursts. And how, hopefully, they'll be able to grow a lot stronger from this, and be with a better understanding of what the other thinks. Both really try to understand each other here, and even though it doesn't work super fluidly, and neither really have any answers to any of the problems, you can tell they're both really trying. Also, having to put hidden lore into this interaction makes it even more impactful to me, since I know some of the details that won't really make total sense until some of the secrets are revealed later on. But for now, this is the kind of thing I love to write, that I strive to write. One of the best parts to me about writing long-form narratives is just being able to get those small moments where you have characters with personalities and history and you just get them to talk through their personal problems. You sit them in a room and you just get them to talk. It gets me to trying to think of how these individual characters would deal with this serious talk in these situations. And ultimately, I want these kind of talks to be good for the characters, and I think the ending of this particular one really embodies that concept. So, that's it. That was my top 5 favourite scenes from the comic. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed.